I want to paint the picture of what it looks like to label a woman a nag. Because oftentimes women and mothers are labeled as nags because they're the people who have been tasked with being responsible for everything that has to happen in a house. So they're often the person delegating things and reminding people to do the things that they said they were going to do. And that's the thing about the word nag that really gets me, is it paints women in this negative light as though that they are never happy with anything, when in reality oftentimes they're nagging someone because somebody committed to doing something and didn't follow through, right? Let's use the lawn, for example. And I'm using the lawn because men will often raise their hand and say, hey, I might not do the dishes, but I always mow the lawn. And this is what that can look like. He'll say to his partner, hey, babe, I need to mow the lawn. Can you remind me tomorrow? And she says, sure, happy to. So the next day she reminds him. And first and foremost, like, you shouldn't be asking an adult to remind you, another adult, to do something because you have a phone and reminder apps and all those things. But hey, she's reminding you. So she says, hey, babe, don't forget to mow the lawn today. And you say, yeah, I'm going to do that. Great. Now it's 2 days later and you haven't mowed the lawn. The day got away from you. And she says, hey, babe, I noticed you didn't get to the lawn. Are you going to be able to do that? And you say, yeah, sorry. Like, day got away from me. I'll get to it. 2 more days go by and she says, hey, babe, we really actually do have to get the lawn done. Every time the kids go out to play, the grass is like up to their ankles or their knees. And it's just like not even fun anymore. Like, do you mind doing the lawn? And he goes, oh my God, you are such a nag. You've asked me 100 times. I'm going to do it. And that is how women get labeled as nags, because they've been asked to tell him what to do and remind him to do it. And then when she does, she's annoying him. And it can feel like this impossible situation to win, right? It's the same thing as give me a list. Tell me what to do. It's the same scenario. Give me a list for groceries, but don't expect me to get the right things, right? I need you to be explicit. Otherwise, it's not on me. And essentially what this does is it places all the blame and the responsibility on women in the relationship to do these things. And I think it's a pretty universally understood experience. And the lawn is an example, but there are so many different things, whether it's filling out a school form, folding your own laundry, right? All of these things that women are often tasked with being responsible for and delegating. And when they do delegate it, a person will say yes. Their partner will often be like, yes, happy to. I'm happy to help you, babe. I want to be a partner to you. And then when they don't actually follow through on it, they get frustrated that the woman actually had expectations they were going to do the thing they said they would do, right? That's probably the hardest part. Is oftentimes men will say like, oh my gosh, I would do it if you just didn't nag me. But the woman is sitting there going, well, you asked me to remind you. Then you didn't do it. So I reminded you again. I'm like, what did you want me to do? Like, at what point do I have to just step in and do it myself? And is that weaponized incompetence? Are you at that point where you've just chosen not to do it long enough and you think that you can weaponize it to the point that she'll just do it? This happens with things all of the time, and this is why women are so exhausted. And when you ask us to communicate, it can be really frustrating because we are constantly communicating. And when we do communicate, we get called a nag, even though it was communication that was literally requested. Ah,